shortest route to Tamale compared to using the Busunu-Damango road. Students, teachers, traders and farmers here rely on canoes to connect to adjoining communities every day to work, and this comes at a cost. Even though residents admit there have been a number of accidents in crossing over to the other side, none of the people I came across on the canoe had life jackets on. This raises an issue of prioritizing safety on the river. Buakpo Achu lives in Sisipe. He crosses the river every day to Daboya to school.
When someone is going to give birth, you will not get a better place to lie down comfortably. Then they can send them there. He will be suffering. So when we get bridge to support us, it will be very good.
Not only are students and traders affected by the non-existence of the bridge, health officials also feel the heat. In times of emergency, some patients, especially pregnant women, referred to Tamale to access health care, sometimes die due to the distance over which they have to ply the bad roads and the delay in crossing the river. These residents say the situation is dire and requires urgent attention.
These canoes, they are no good, and we are going inside the water. When rain is coming, you cannot go inside. When someone is nowhere, they want to send them to Tamale, and it's rainy season. They will just wait before the rain. And when they just wait, and the person dies.
Anytime any government was to come here, when they come, they will just come and promise us that they will do the bridge for us. And then we too, we are praying for them to come and do the bridge for us. Because as we're here, we are always suffering.
This road to Tamale is very short. Passing the other way around is a very long journey. So if we should get a bridge here, it will go a long way to help the community, because there are a lot of people here who are farmers. They have to transport their farm produce to Tamale.
Benaperua Sumbori, the first of the Wasipe traditional area of Daboya, is calling on government to come to their aid.
If there is a problem on the Bolga road, and you just take Tolong and you come here, you will be in Bolga faster than somebody who started from Tamale. It's very short from here. So this bridge is going to link Upper West, Upper East, Northeast, and the rest of Ghana very, very fast.
Remains of the already broken down bridge, which in the past made travel easier within the enclave, still remains on the side of the White Water. According to the Assembly, a contract has been awarded to repair the Daboya bridge soon. The question from residents is, how soon will this bridge be ready for use?
It is the major link between the districts and the regional capital. That is one. If you look at the Busunu route, it's going straight to the Daboya River. The river is going to be constructed to link that here to Tamale. The reason why it is important is that through Daboya, through Tolong to Tamale, remains the only comfortable alternative to the north from the south in case Yape and Bupe breaks down. Very soon, contractors will come to site to start the construction of the Daboya bridge.
The people of Daboya pray fervently that help should come soonest from central government to construct the roads and bridge. They are optimistic that the bridge will open up their town to many business prospects, which in turn will raise living standards of their people. Beatrice Sanaju, GBC News, Daboya.
The Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources has launched a manual to serve as a standard for the construction of biodigesters. It is a 96-page booklet which details the installation and maintenance of biodigesters to serve as a guide to artisans and put a stop to the construction of substandard facilities which are affecting the environment.
Biodigesters were introduced into the country a few years ago and currently being promoted by the Sanitation Ministry under its Greater Accra Metropolitan Area Gamma Water and Sanitation Project. Here, government provides subsidies to construct the facilities for households in low-income communities. So far, over 35,000 biodigesters have been provided in the Greater Accra, and the project is being replicated in Greater Kumasi. The biodigester requires less space for its construction and less costly compared to septic tanks, and so is a popular choice for many households. Due to the increased demand, the private sector responded, leading to the availability of untested forms of biodigester toilet systems on the market. Hence, the need for a manual to regularize the system. The manual adopts a step-by-step guide to the siting, design and installation of the facility. The Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Madam Cecilia Daboya, says her ministry in the shortest possible time will begin accreditation for artisans and institutions.
A few months from now, the ministry will begin the process of accrediting artisans and institutions who are into the construction and installation of these biodigesters to ensure that the highest environmental standards are maintained.
The coordinator of the Gamma Water and Sanitation Project, Mr. George Isiedu, says procurement processes have begun to set up treatment plants to deal with the sludge from the digesters when they are emptied.
We have specific bulking material that you have to use, and then you need to have certain dimensions that you need to put in place so that it will function the way it's been designed. If you just build it anyhow, it might not function. And it's also suitable for places where the soil is very permeable, where the effluent can go into the soil.
The Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources hopes the manual will help provide improved and sustainable toilet facilities which are environmentally friendly.
Media Foundation for West Africa has held its maiden edition of Investigative Journalism Fellowship Program to send off its first cohort of 10 young fellows who have successfully completed their 5-month training in investigative journalism. The intervention has a broader impact since the media play a critical watchdog role in the society.
As part of its project to train participants into refined investigative journalists, the fellowship recruited 10 young fellows to participate in their 5-month training program themed "The Time with Next Generation Journalism Fellows." The training module on investigative journalism included mobile journalism, RTI laws, fact-checking, among others, to sharpen their investigative skills. Mr. Joseph Withell, the Commissioner for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, charged the 10 graduates to practice within the law, be thorough, fair and accurate in their reportage.
Ordinary citizens are finding it difficult to come forward, especially in the area of corruption. But you who are trained to know what to do, you'll be able to bring it forward. And I'm sure we'll be ready to work with you. But having said that, let me also indicate that you must practice your brand of journalism with some responsibility.
The Executive Director of Media Foundation for West Africa, Mr. Suleiman Abrahima, said to ensure the media keeps its high standards, Media Foundation for West Africa will continue to help enhance the quality of media output in the country.
One of the major steps towards dealing with the challenges confronting us is to break the culture of secrecy and opacity and replace that with a culture of openness, transparency, and accountability. And this is where the power and role of the media as the watchdog and also the fourth estate of the realm come in.
Some participants shared their experience during the 5-month marathon training.
During our training sessions, it was an eye-opener indeed and a passion shaker. It was an eye-opener because I got to know that all those fears were not worth it, that I could do this work and do it well.
Going through this 5-month fellowship, we're taking through how to write our TI requests, and indeed, the law works.
Certificates were presented to fellows for successfully completing the program. Cash prizes were also presented to 3 fellows for their outstanding performance during the training. Media Foundation for West Africa is an international non-governmental organization which campaigns against violations and attacks on media in West Africa.
Staff of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC in the Ashanti region have climaxed the Heritage Month with a food bazaar. Staff of the corporation exhibited their cooking skills with mouth-watering dishes.
Climax of the month-long celebration on Friday, April 1, staff attended work in traditional apparels from respective ethnic groups. The event was crowned with a food bazaar where both men and women of the corporation participated in the cooking of a variety of dishes. Meals on the menu included fufu with light soup, mashed boiled plantain or eto, nuhu prepared from boiled cocoyam mixed with palm nut soup, ampesi and chozafi, together with some fresh local drinks like sobolo and palm wine. Others also participated in some traditional games. Ms. Dora Ayebia Osafo of the marketing department who prepared fufu with light soup on the day shared some experience.
During the program, I realized that there was a lot of unity. We were happy. We were. I mean, there's a lot of stress going on. We have been distressed, and I think if we continue doing this, it will bring us all together.
The Ashanti Regional Director of the GBC, Mr. Abubakar Al-Hassan, explained that the food bazaar formed part of GBC's Garden City Radio and Garden City Television's mandate to promote the region's heritage.
It is part of our education to the general public. It's core of our job. We are educating people. So it's not just about we eating, it's about telling the people the kind of food we have here, traditional food that we must portray to the public. We must eat even ourselves.
For many, a popular addition to any local or continental breakfast dish is bread. This flour dough-based accompaniment comes in different flavors: butter bread, sugar bread, and wheat flour, popularly called brown bread. But have you ever wondered how your favorite bread is made? This is the story of a special bread recipe baked on the sweet prayer leaf, mostly referred to as wache haban in Akan or wache ba in Ga. Those who swear by it say the leaf adds natural flavors to the bread and it is nutritious as well. Bamlin bodo bodo, which literally means bread in a leaf, has existed for decades and is very popular within Jamestown and its environs in Accra. Join us as we take you through the baking process.
Jamestown is best known for its ancient links to Ghana's British colonial past. It is mainly inhabited by Ga people with fishing activities in abundance. But many may not know, however, that for many years it has been the hub for delicious and popular bread baked in local wache leaves. Born to an Ashanti father and a Ga mother, Madam Evelyn Efriye says she inherited the bread baking business from her great-grandparents. She tells us that from a very tender age, she was part of the bread making process, giving her all the hands-on experience she needed when she finally took over the business fully 25 years ago.
Muchumo agency more than 200 years. When an council may
my great-grandparents came up with the idea of baking in the wache leaf about 200 years ago. It is just the leaves that give the right flavor. We do not add chemicals.
Ni noni hani is different from Brodo was yo. Any chemical kukra bemi. Okay, chemicals woo me. Ba pe hale flavor. Ni ba he wale yemi.
With a quarter-century worth of experience under her belt, Madam Evelyn has gained bragging rights for constantly maintaining the standard of great taste in Bamli Bodo. She has diligently managed the business and extended its client base beyond Jamestown. People come from far and near to buy from her for onward sale. Others place orders for their social events, while others purchase for domestic use. Lovers of Bamli Bodo cut across all walks of society, and as Madam Evelyn tells us, Bamli Bodo was late President Atta Mills's favorite accompaniment for all his breakfasts.
Someone bought a loaf and recommended it to the late President, and it became his all-time.
No crack if your breakfast and okay, where YouTube.
People abroad find us online, so when they visit Ghana, they can't find
America.
All one needs is flour, salt, sugar, butter, and yeast mixed together, then knead until it becomes even. No artificial flavor of any sort is added to the mixture, as the bread derives its natural flavors from the sweet prayer leaf. After kneading, the dough is transferred onto a lightly flat surface, then gently molded into balls. The leaves are cleaned thoroughly before the dough balls are transferred onto them. The dough balls are arranged 6 to a leaf. It is set aside for about 5 to 6 hours to prove until it doubles in size. About an hour to the time for the dough to prove woolly, the oven is heated up and prepared for baking, as compared to the modern-day oven where the flame is used in baking the bread. The traditional oven, which is made of clay, is preheated for the walls to absorb the heat. Using the traditional oven or a kiln as a source of energy for baking is less cost-effective. It needs a few pieces of firewood and a dried sweet prayer leaf, which has already been used in baking, to light the fire in the oven. The fire is then spread evenly across the oven. Next, transfer the loaf onto the oven and bake until golden brown and the loaf sounds hollow when tapped underneath. Bamli Bodo is heavier than your regular sugar bread. The aroma of the bread alone, especially when it is fresh from the oven, is enough to convert even the most skeptical buyer. Even without a spread of choice, its natural good taste is enough to make you yearn for more. Alternatively, if you have a sweet tooth, slap on a healthy serving of fresh butter when the bread is hot and watch it melt and dissolve into the bread. A big bite and you realize that the taste is elevated to a whole new level of finger-licking yummy goodness.
And to another finger-licking yummy goodness, and we focus now on a favorite food of the Ewes. Akple is synonymous with banku or boiled corn dough. However, the name takes surfaces depending on what it is made of. So, for instance, ewokmle means akple or banku made of ewo or corn flour. Aikple means akple or banku made of aiwo or bean flour. And it goes on and on. Each of them is usually mashed with or eaten with a particular soup or stew. If only the person preparing it has the culinary skills, the dish can be tantalizing and mouth-watering.
Akple is a favorite food of the Ewes. It comes in different forms: ewokmle, ewodami, agbalimokmle, amokmle, ayikmle, and jenkmle. In Ewe, ewo means corn flour and agbalimo means cassava dough. Ewokmle, a corn-made food eaten mostly by Ewes, is prepared only with water and corn flour with the aid of heat. The cooking technology differs from individual to individual. Some start by heating the water and adding a little of the flour. As the mixture develops into a light porridge, the corn flour is introduced. It is stirred until it solidifies. Others prefer to heat the water and add the corn flour when the water begins to boil. A wokplen is considered a very healthy food because it is very light and doesn't weigh on the stomach. It is usually eaten with fetridechi or okra soup, abobitadi, or dry and roasted anchovy stew, or simply tomato stew featuring the popular Kata schoolboys. A wokplen is also eaten with akpadechi or tilapia soup or some other soups. A wadami, on the other hand, is simply a boiled mixture of corn flour and cassava dough. It is gaining more popularity of late because it is also not as heavy as the traditional corn dough banku, which is eaten by different groups of Ghanaians. Ayikplen is a boiled bean flour, just like the wokplen, except that the base ingredient is bean instead of corn. The boiling technology is similar to that of a wokplen. Jenkple is simply a boiled mixture of corn flour and soup, usually palm nut soup. Preparation employs similar boiling technology.
And away from food, religious and corporate organizations as well as individuals have been urged not to overlook the plight of vulnerable persons in society. A pastor at the Accra City Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Pastor Prince Obituary, explains that government alone cannot bear such a burden and encouraged others to extend a hand of help to such persons through regular donations to augment the government's provision for them. Pastor Sewo said this when the Adventist Main Ministry of the SDA Church donated assorted items worth 40,000 cedis to the James Camp prisons in Accra.
The Adventist Men's Ministry of the SDA Church was a way of demonstrating God's love to the socially disadvantaged and whip up the spirit of evangelism among the men within the conference. The Adventist men have designated the months of March and April annually to show love to the disadvantaged in society. The director of Adventist Men, Pastor Prince Obituary, said the vulnerable deserve love from society, stressing that anybody can find themselves in such a position. He added that they will continue to donate towards the upkeep of such persons as he called on other stakeholders to emulate the gesture. A representative of the James Camp Prisons, ASP James Tanye, expressed appreciation for the gesture. He said though they receive donations from time to time, they are usually not adequate. ASP Tanye appealed for more of such donations. Other institutions that benefited from the donations are the Bawe SDA Hospital, Accra Psychiatric Hospital, and the Weja Leprosarium. Items donated included bags of maize, rice, gari, water, assorted drinks and detergents.
The Apiati Support Fund has received a check for 50,000 cedis from the Ghana Institution of Engineering. The donation is to help with the reconstruction of the community and the restoration of livelihoods. The gesture forms part of the institution's week celebration in Accra.
The president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Reverend Professor Charles Anum Adams, during the presentation said upon request from the committee members of the Apiati Support Fund, the GHIE did not waste time in mobilizing funds to help a community devastated by an unfortunate incident. Reverend Professor Adams hinted that his outfit was ready to support the community beyond the monetary contributions. The Ghana Institution of Engineering has also promised to assist students from the community who want to learn STEM or robotics to become engineers. The chairman of the Apiati Support Fund Committee, Reverend Dr. Joyce Ayi, acknowledged the gesture. She added that the institution has shown the way by giving such a hefty amount mobilized within a short time. She maintained that the committee's terms of reference is to solicit for sufficient funds and ensure that the funds are disbursed with integrity and transparency and give the community a sustainable livelihood.
13-year-old Nancy Gameli has been diagnosed with osteoblastoma, a bone-forming tumor. Nancy Gameli and her grandmother, Madame Theresa Amu, are appealing to the general public for financial assistance of 50,000 cedis for corrective surgery.
Nancy Gameli is a Class 6 pupil of the Mataheko Roman Catholic Basic School located in the Ablekuma Central Municipal Assembly. The 13-year-old, according to doctors' reports, bruised her leg during the COVID-19 lockdown, but all efforts to fully cure her proved futile. Her untreated condition has resulted into osteoblastoma. Osteoblastoma is a benign bone-forming tumor that is extremely rare, accounting for only 1% of all primary bone tumors. Treatment of osteoblastoma usually involves surgery to remove the tumor. Nancy and her grandmother, Madame Theresa Amu, are appealing to the general public, philanthropists, and benevolent organizations to support them with 50,000 Ghana cedis to cover the cost of surgery at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Sesi asena ekonna no ya na ye kase ni yedin ba kolobu yenye skampon toduane enuro mpo amanfo na boaye sesi o mse nke yenko fie na awrade adum ya be ye damti ya o mse ye ni surgeon so ye no 500 million mi hu ba bia me ko fa bi sesi nkofo e madoye nya o mse o mabre enti ya se me so me di beto amanfo ni no mo boa me wakure ho Sansa mini shafobia mi asma yare 3 years mi ko bebia se ne de beto aduane di kura de mai mini bi nti mi sere urade se urade enko bia kuma no momo am ne mfanya kura yi na ma no si am ye nya bi ombetwa.
Nancy told GBC News that her ambition is to pursue law and become a judge in future, but she fears her dream may not come true due to her deteriorating condition, which has left her out of school for 2 years.
My friends are now in JHS too. I want to be a judge in future, but because of this, and I can't. I'm pleading to the general public, the government, the philanthropists, all of you to help me.
Kindly support Nancy Gameli's surgery by donating to Theresa Amu on MTN mobile money number 059 131 6296. 059 131 6296.
And no amount is too little. Please donate for a worthy cause. The remains of a former head of news at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Emmanuel Kwesi-Safo, have been interred at Asante Achim in the Ashanti region. His funeral was attended by staff of GBC, family and friends.
The late Mr. Emmanuel Kwesi-Safo was born in 1947 at Obokwewu. He had his primary education at the Anglican Primary School at Obokwewu and continued at the Odogono Secondary School. His journalism career started at the Ghana Institute of Journalism and had his first degree at the University of Ghana, Legon. Mr. Emmanuel Kwesi-Safo was employed as a reporter by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation in March 1976. He performed many duties including reporting, production and editorial at Radio Ghana's newsroom in Accra. He produced and hosted GBC's current affairs program, Focus. He rose through the ranks to become the head of news, a rank he held till he retired from active service in 2007. The Eastern Regional Chairman of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Maxwell Kudeko, described Mr. Safo as one of the most brilliant, outspoken, assertive, principled and courageous journalists. Some staff of GBC eulogized him. His remains has since been interred at his hometown at Asante Achim Nyayeso in the Ashanti region. He left behind a wife and 5 children.
And if you missed some of the past week's major stories, here is an opportunity to catch up in pictures. BBC News and GTV will be right back.
There are strong